And we're live. Welcome to Simon no茶の間, and I'll take it away, my guests. Okay. Simon no茶の間, and I'll take it away, my guests. Okay. Simon no茶の間, and I'll take it away, my guests. Simon no茶の間, and I'll take it away, my guests. Simon no茶の間, and I'll take it away, my guests. You need to turn off that. Hello. Yes, if you switched, that was very nice, but you need to turn off my voice. You need to turn off your YouTube tab. I just keep hearing myself.
4, 3, 2, 1. どっから大丈夫かいや
Thank you for all those watching now. That was Imaginary Machete Swinger, or at least 3 of them, who you may have seen on the show a few weeks ago, and they've returned. And we are going to be talking tonight about Shakespeare, hence the backdrop here. I am the Prince of Denmark. As my secret life, I am the Prince of Denmark. And I have a mad girlfriend, and I want to kill my uncle. But no. We're going to be talking about Shakespeare, their Shakespeare project, how that relates to Japan, because they'll be doing mostly in Japan, and how Shakespeare is perceived over there. We shall also be talking to the gentleman in the hat. This is Yui, the bassist of Imaginary Machete Swinger, and also their video editor. And in fact, if I could start with you, Yui, when did you join Imaginary Machete Swinger? Let's start at the beginning.
About 3 months ago.
3 months ago already? It was in June. 2 months ago?
2 months ago. いつぐらいだろう ?4 月、April.
Was it that?
You don't remember. he's become such a part of the band that you no longer remember when you joined.
April 16th 覚えてる4月16日だから about 4 months
ago. And you're still happy. Yes. But how many gigs have you done now?
With Yui?
Well, yes, with Yui, yeah.
Just once on the 27th of June.
Oh, that was yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1回.
Yeah, 1 gig. Yeah, but.
And What? What are you going to wear?
Hi, you mean like in the next show for Hamlet, right?
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was pushing you to wear pajama. 次のライブでどんなものを着ますかっていうので。
パジャマ
I'm pushing him to wear pajama. パジャマ着てっていう話をしたんだよ。
Yes, this is what happens when you join in Imaginary Machete Swinger. You have to wear pajamas.
Oh, yeah, very cool pajama.
You're playing the ghost, I believe, the character. Or you're not actually playing the ghost character, but you're representative of the ghost character in Hamlet.
Yeah, I'm ghost. Good. Very cool. Very cool.
Yes, I remember. If anybody remembers Shakespeare's Hamlet, the ghost is what starts Hamlet off on his journey into depression and madness. So.
Remember me.
This is a very different. Yes, this is the Japanese interpretation of Hamlet, and it's quite different. As I'm now going to go to a stage somewhere in Japan and show you. This is a scene, a Japanese interpretation of Hamlet. And we shall then go back to Imaginary Machete Swinger and ask them for a critique of this. Here we go. Now, if I can set this playing, this is, if we'll all be quiet for a moment, this is the scene where the players come in to the castle in Elsinore or wherever this is, in Tokyo, possibly. And the gentleman sat on the floor with the bald head is actually Hamlet. Oh, this is Polonius.
Polonius. Yeah.
That's Sogo's favorite character, Polonius.
Yeah.
Ah.
雑魚感半端じゃない。すぐし。
ああ。これパジャマの人どこにいるのこれ。
ここはまだ出て
ここまでこれ。
パジャマの人なんなんですか。
なんなんですかね。でもDo you like no? No.
Right.
かエビゾえじゃないか。
Right.
違う。
This is.
No. あ
そう、ノーでやってる。
おののシェイクスピア。
Our guitarist 龍一郎 very young boy.
Yeah, our guitarist is actually from No Family.
Ah.
Yeah.
聞いたかもしれない。
So this is not kabuki style. This is more no style.
No style, completely no style. Yeah, because like when you have got like really wooden, when you have got kind of square wooden structure and then pine tree back there, that's no theater, not cabinet.
歌舞伎さ。
Well, yes, we'll stop there. But I mean, that is the no interpretation of Shakespeare. And now let's back to Shakespeare. We'll just go back to my castle. What is the essence of your Shakespeare project? I mean, what are you intending to do? You are a band producing J-rock, but you have this particular Shakespeare project, and what is the intention behind that?
Shakespeare project の意図するところっていうのは何ですか？
普通に聞いたら普通に聴ける音楽だと思うんだけど、僕が仕掛けたいろんな仕掛けが楽曲の中に含まれていて、そのシェイクスピア作品を知っているとより楽しめる音楽作品になってるんですよ。
Okay, so there are many different viewpoints here. because like I participate here as a drama tech, and he participates here as a musician. And the musician side, he tried to put many different devices, musical devices, in every pieces of the Shakespeare project, so that when you try to listen to it and then like read the script, I mean read the plays very carefully, you can find out the devices bit by bit. So that's the interesting part on the musical side. And as for the kind of like drama analysis side, we are really trying to make Shakespeare's works really relevant to the modern audience. So like feel that it's something we can relate to, and then like it's something really relevant to us.
I'd like to ask Yui, as a bass player, and you came into IMS. When you joined the band, was it because it was a rock band, or did you know that you would be doing something slightly more exotic like Shakespeare?
バンドに入った時に、ロックバンドだと思って入ったのか、それともロックバンドだけどシェイクスピアプロジェクトもやってるっていうのを分かった上で入ったのかどっちですか？
あとロックバンド、I want to rock band because I joined だからShakespeare I didn't know that's Shakespeare project.
Yes. So and you've played on have you played any of the Shakespeare project tracks? Have you played the bass at all on any of those? And if you have, how does it feel? Is it quite different to playing regular rock?
No, I don't feel different. But Shakespeare project, I had a very interested. だから、very funny, quite funny. 楽しんでます。
He enjoyed it very
They're
much.
very enjoy.
Because he dance from Romeo and Juliet for Mercutio.
That's a very cool song.
Oh yeah, I think I can play a bit of that. Where are we?
Body song.
The Mercutio song.
Yeah, very body one.
That's I don't know. Is it that one? Is it the Last Dance? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just play the audience a bit of Last Dance. But yes, you'll have to probably explain the lyrics quickly because it's right.
聞いてる。Listen now. I still choking. チャチャララチャチャ今チャチャララチャチャチャで聞いてんじゃないチャチャララチャチャチャチャチャララチャチャ
ラグがあるから絶対終わんないですよ。
Okay, so yes, there's like getting your sword out and choking and blood. This is Mercutio's bawdy song. It sounds fairly violent, actually.
Well, yeah, it's super violent. It's really violent. Because like in each song we are trying to do different experiments, and for this last dance we are really trying to expose the bawdiness of Mercutio here. So like it's very violent, body, sensual and everything, and then it comes together, and then we kind of try to express these things through Sogo's composition of a modern rock, right?
Yes, just nod. Yeah.
要はマキューショって酒場が似合うキャラクターだから酒場でみんなが踊れるような当時踊ってたような音楽を作りたいっていうのがあってでそれが彼を表現する一つの方法そういう音楽的にはそういうところで、それで単純に僕がアイルランド民謡とか好きだからそういったもののダンス、乗れるものとかをアイルランド民謡からヒントを得て作ってます。
For the music side, he was trying to recreate this like fun atmosphere. Like Makusha is a character who is always dancing around, playing with friends. So he tried to recreate this atmosphere that everyone can drink together, dance together, etc., etc. And in addition to that, from the text, he extracted the word. I mean, like the word fiddle, because like when he was fighting with Thibault, mentioned that like let's play with this fiddle stick or something like that. So he picked up that word fiddle. So that's why throughout the whole piece you can hear the sound of fiddle.
You can hear it like a violin, fiddle sound. Yeah. So you've not yet brought this to the public, other than the YouTube videos. And I should advise my viewers, click on the link in the advert, or I didn't provide it actually in the description. But if you go onto YouTube and type "Imaginary Machete Swinger" and click on that, you will see a lot of anime project videos and some Shakespeare project videos. But yes, apart from that, you've not brought it yet to the audience. So have you had any kind of feedback for your ideas other than amongst yourselves?
シェイクスピアのプロジェクトはどういう人に聞かせたことがあってどういうフィードバック？
一般の人に聞いてもらったときは、シェイクスピア知らない人たちに聞いてもらったときは、かっこいい曲だね、ロックの曲だねっていうのを普通の聞いてもらったんだけど、シェイクスピアを知ってる人からすると、この歌ってあのキャラクターだよねとか、あの場面で表してるよねとか、そういう本当好きな人だったらより楽しめる作品かなっていう。だからこの曲は誰かのシェイクスピア作品の誰かの曲を歌ってますか？誰だと思いますかって聞かせたら、ほとんどの人が分かんない。
So for the general audience who don't really know about Shakespeare here, I think that is kind of our contemporary rock project, but still we are receiving really friendly comments from the audience, and we are really happy about that. And then we also show the pieces to the expert of Shakespeare, like a professor of the
the professor who visited the other week, yes.
And then actually we were asking her, how do you think, without providing any information, and then she actually that's Makusha from Act 3, Scene 1. Yeah.
So, I mean, would your intention be to bring it to the public, or and also perhaps to actually coordinate with Shakespeare organizations and appear, if you like, at conference, a Shakespeare conference. And tonight we have with us Imaginary Machete Swinger, and would that be a sort of a point of contact, or are you just sticking to the audiences that don't know so much about Shakespeare?
We'd like both of them to listen to our songs. I mean, like for general audience. I mean, for the general audience and also the Shakespeare experts out there, we wish that everyone can enjoy our work. The reason why we are doing anime project is that it's also kind of like a revival or like adaptation of the thing. I mean, of a very popular culture. So we want our audience to enjoy both projects at the same level. We wish them to enjoy Shakespeare Shakespeare project at the same level as the anime project.
Mm.
Are you sleeping?
Hello, Sergeant Bilko. Sergeant Bilko has joined the show, joined the comments. Now, could we from Yui?
Yeah.
Because we had at the beginning there we just had a little rehearsal. But could we have some more? Is there another Shakespeare track that you're familiar with? Could we have perhaps with you and Sogo playing?
なんか最初にちょっとだけ聞くことができましたけど、シェイクスピアプロジェクトもさっき弾いたことがあるって言ってたので、何か一緒に弾いてもらえるところあります。
ラストダンスはあるね。うん。I can play last dance.
Ah, okay, that's good.
僕弾けないですけど。
Live on Simon no茶の間 Last Dance with Mercutio.
俺も
そういうことらしい。
OK、ちょっと待っててね。
Just wait, please.
Yes, we should wait.
Meanwhile, probably you can explain to the audience about the Japanese reception of Hamlet and how it came to Japan, etc.
Yes, that's a good point. I mean, for those in the audience who are not familiar, and as I was not familiar until a couple of nights ago when I Googled, did some serious Googling, that actually Hamlet and the Hamlet aspect of Imaginary Machete Swinger's project, the Shakespearean project, is because Hamlet was one of the first, if not the first, element of Shakespeare that became popular in Japan from the Meiji period. Hamlet is viewed quite favourably as a mirror into the Western mind, and I was talking to Chuck last night about it, and that means that the Japanese must think the Western mind is a depressed guy who wants to kill his uncle and has a mad girlfriend. But are we ready?
過去用なんで。
確か B マイナーだった気がする。
B マイナー
じゃなかったっけな、あれ違ったかな。
B minor. I have no idea.
ラストダンスのあれ。
But yes, Hamlet.
Hamlet.
If I switch to this, I'm going to go into black and white. Here we have myself and the equally striking Toshiro Mifune. This is Akira Kurosawa's loose adaptation of Hamlet, the popularization from 1960, I believe. Why are minors here? Where are minors? Totally ASMR. I see no minors. Totally ASMR has been searching the Imaginary Machete Swinger channel, has not found a single Shakespeare video yet. There are some there, I believe. Chuck, there's some there, or are they on Chuck the Magpie channel? Your microphone, Chuck, I can't hear you. Michael, there's something wrong with your microphone. That's better.
They are called Katawari and Last Dance, and we didn't specify that they're from Shakespeare project.
Ah, right. It's totally ASMR. You should look up Katawari and Last Dance, and those are the two videos related to the Shakespeare project. Audio loss in Tokyo. Yes. So go knock the microphone.
Can Can you hear us all right?
I can hear you perfectly now. I think the audience can too. And are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
俺
ready.
俺この辺から弾くんで、
Okay.
ゆうさんこの辺
Okay,
から
I shall shut up and we shall hear Last Dance, which is from an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet and the character of Mercutio. And it's all to do with sex and violence. Microphone again, guys.
マイク。
今どうだい？
It's all gone very, very fuzzy. Can't hear you.
How is it now?
Still fuzzy. You sound like you're in a different room talking through a blanket. I can't hear you. Hardly.
はははははははははははは
Try now.
Do you hear the instrument?
I can hear the instruments. Don't put that microphone in your armpits. Okay. So I shall be quiet now, and we shall listen to Last Dance.
大丈夫。
Now a question. That was all in English. When you do your if you do a performance on stage, will you be singing it in English? Your microphone is still very fuzzy.
Oh, really?
Mm.
マイクがよく聞こえないって。
あ、そうなんだ。
マイク。
一回このブラウザこっちハンガーウト更新しても大丈夫か
So once probably we should refresh Hangout.
You may disappear if you do that. Just check your microphone settings, perhaps. But
マイク何も変えてな
We
い。
haven't changed anything.
no. Well, it just could be my ears. I don't know. Audience, are you hearing them clearly? Let me know.
ちょっと待って。イヤホンにしちゃうと、みんな聞こえなくなっちゃうから、一回イヤホンにして。
Just a moment, please. Just a moment.
Oh yes, that's much better. What did you do there? Now it's gone.
Simon, drinking?
I'm drinking just some typical Belgian beer in black and white. It's Stella Artois. Yeah, I don't know what you did there, Sogo-san, but it suddenly went clear and then it went fuzzy again. Try again.
Great.
音楽は作れないけど、マイク直すことはできるんです。
He said he can't really create any music pieces, but then he can actually fix the microphone.
Oh yeah. It's the technician, Sogo-san, technician. That did it. Yeah. So yes, what we were talking about, the texts are in English.
Yeah.
But is that because I mean, I'm referencing back now to all the nights of research that I have done. There are different interpretations of Shakespeare in Japanese, and they're different styles. and I think we talked yesterday that there's the kind of the traditional style, and that dates back actually to the first full translation of Shakespeare in 1928 by somebody whose name I've forgotten. Something like that. Yes, and he produced it, but using archaic Japanese, because he felt that was in like kabuki style, archaic Japanese. But then there are interpretations that again using more modern Japanese, but they're still, like we said the other day, true to the original, trying to get the feel of the original Shakespearean language.
Yeah.
So if you were to do, for example, a
Also, if I can add some information to that, actually there were earlier translations, but that was like the first complete Shakespeare. So there was earlier Hamlet translations.
That's right. Yes, from almost from the Meiji period. Yeah, but that was I mean, the 1928 one was the complete works of Shakespeare translated. But the point I'm trying to make is when you do your Shakespeare project, would you consider doing it in Japanese? And if you did, how would what kind of language would you use?
日本語でこれからシェイクスピアプロジェクトをやる可能性ってありますかっていうので、やるとしたら、あとはどんな日本語を使いますかって、例えば、明治時代から日本にはシェイクスピアの翻訳の歴史というのがあって、例えば歌舞伎的な言葉が使われてたり、その当時の大正とか昭和の言葉が平成使われてきたけど、どう思いますか
？very simple, very simply word. But I want because of なんだろう、最近recently Japanese become very full.
You mean foolish?
Very foolish. Because of no therefore そういう人たち、今のnow Japanese very difficult things なんだろう、昔の
so they would not understand, a Japanese audience would not necessarily understand a more complex Japanese language. They would need text like Japanese text language.
I think it's just progressing. I wouldn't say they're foolish. It's just progressing, I would say.
Yeah, so I mean, are they taught in school? I'm sorry, are they taught in schools Shakespeare in Japan and in the old style language, or is that not the case?
日本の教育を受けた人たちは、日本の学校ではシェイクスピアを教えてますか？
No. I never learned when I was high school and junior students. Not learn Shakespeare.
同じく。I'm same.
But so your audience, your Japanese audience, perhaps might not then be familiar with Shakespeare. So how would you kind of bring it to them? You come with these songs related to Shakespeare. So how would they know the context? That's my question.
For instance, when it comes to Kataware, we try to use the bridge because there's a Japanese famous play which adapted part of it, adapted Hamlet partly. And then we thought that it was a great idea that we use both plays as a background. So like we had some kind of bridge for that particular song. Then I have to ask two of them how they feel about it for the future project.
maybe 多分なんだろうな、それこそなんだろう、音楽いわゆる音楽が手段だったりもするんだけど、例えばいきなり今の日本人にね、すごいシェイクスピアに精通してる人以外は、これがシェイクスピアの世界観なんてどうだって言っても、シェイクスピアは知ってるけど、はっきり言ってよくわからないし伝わらないっていう人の方が多いと思う。だからなんだろうな、例えばなんか、さっきの、なんだろう、秋吉さんのそのシェイクスピアを知らない人でもかっこいいっていうのが入り口っていうのは、なんかまさにそれがなんかいわゆる今の日本人に伝える手段なのかなっていう気はしてて、それこそ僕も、なんだろう、キリスト教って、なんだろう、例えば、そのキリストの貼り付けられてる十字架がめちゃめちゃロックっぽくてかっこいいっていうところから聖書に入っていったから、なんか多分、そういうのと同じような、だからこう違う入り口、っていうことなのかなって。
You thinks that it's very important to provide a very familiar entrance. So, like for instance, when he got to know Christianity, first of all, he encountered this imagery of a cross, and then it's very symbolic. But then at the beginning, he thought that it's the rock, and then he started to read Bible, etc., etc., and then he started to get familiar with the Christianity. So. The same way, probably like as Sogo said, we can create something very rock or something really cool so that audience can kind of have interest in Shakespeare, and then bit by bit we can provide. I mean, like
so they would then go. I'm hearing myself again.
So like you treat himself as a kind of like missionary of Shakespeare or something.
Yeah, so they may go after, may later go and actually investigate Shakespeare and find out more. Yeah, you'll be ambassadors for Shakespeare in Japan, yeah, sort of thing.
日本語でいいから言うとなんか言ってるなって。
でもラストダンスなんかも分かりやすく仕掛けにしてあって、マキューシオの3幕1番のシーンをやっぱりが中心に作ってくるんだけど、曲の長さがそれで3分1秒にしてたりとか、そういう仕掛けをしてるんですよ。
As for music, as I explained to you earlier, there are lots of different devices to represent Shakespeare's dramatic art. And then there are very complicated things and also simple things. For instance, like as for the simple things, he made the length of the song 3 minutes and 1 second. That is the simplest device he put there. It's like represents the Act 3, Scene 1.
Yeah. They're still quite subtle.
But then, you know, like when you try to analyze the song, you can find out that there is a symbolic melody with fiddle, etc., etc. So, you know, you go into deep of the song, you know, you can find out more.
Now, the other members of the band, they're all coming. I mean, for example, you're going to get the dancer Jason to be involved and have a costume, and Sarah is going to the graphic designer, but there are also now I believe about 14 members of Imaginary Machete Swinger. And are they all going to be simultaneously involved in the Shakespeare project?
今シェイクスピアプロジェクトをやってるのか、それとも違うプロジェクト。
様々だね。そのシェイクスピアのこの曲は参加するけど、この曲は参加しないとか、その中でも複雑にやる人やらない人がいたりするから、やるやらないっていうとちょっと難しい。
So each project has the project leader, and then the project leader has to kind of have proposal, And then whenever somebody gets interested, they will say that, I'm in. And then we have them for the project.
So the Shakespeare project at the moment, not everybody is necessarily involved. The band is involved, the core band, and then perhaps the Jason and Sarah, but not everybody, not the web designer. Can you explain who who the core members are and who the other members are of and how it's grown, really? Yes.
Okay, so if I start to talk about the members, it would be a really long story. So
Okay.
We have got musicians, designers, web designer, cameraman, videographer, etc., etc. So it's really multidisciplinary now. And then for instance, when it comes to the Tempest project, coming up the Tempest project, many members are involved, like videographer, photographers, photographers, and musicians, and dancer, designer, etc. Why are you guys dancing?
No, just imitating your gestures. Like dramatic, Shakespearean gestures.
Mainly musicians moving it forward.
So it's a kind of like it's a community, a democratic community of creative artists, I should say. Yes, and yeah.
Yeah, we call ourselves Musician Creators Guild.
So the Tempest project, I don't know whether you told me about that yet. That could be a first here on Simon no茶の間. After the Hamlet project, there's the Tempest project. But so that will be a similar, again, producing songs and video material. So that you're working on that as well now.
I am not participating it as a vocalist. He's making music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sogo is going to sing.
No. He can play many different music instruments, but then the vocal is not his strength, I can say. Tempest
ダンサーのジェイソンと、僕がダンスと、音楽、ミュージックで面白いことできないかなっていう時に、僕の音楽に合わせて、ジェイソンがダンスをするっていう中で、そのジェイソンのダンスを、テンペストに出てくるアリエルに見立てて、表現して、映像だったり、フォトグラフとも絡めて表現したら面白くないかっていうところで今動き出しているプロジェクトです。
So it's basically a project revolving around Sogo again.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, now I'm living in Hong Kong, and Jason, the dancer, is living in Hong Kong. Sarah, the designer, is living in Hong Kong. Chris, the photographer. Martina, the photographer, they are also living in Hong Kong. So we thought that we can kind of set the Tempest. I mean, we can kind of pretend that enchanted island is modern Hong Kong island, and then we are kind of like replacing everything with the Hong Kong element. And then
that's interesting. I mean, you could theoretically. I mean, this is for Sogo, perhaps. Who is it that comes to the island? I mean, you have the people living on the island, the guy and his daughter, and
on Ariel.
Yeah, but the visitors to the island, the ones that kind of are they shipwrecked there? I can't remember. Excuse me.
Shipwreck and stuff like that. Then we are focusing on the character called Ariel.
Yes, the spirit. Yeah. Yeah, so steering clear of the fact that I just had a sort of vision of the visitors to the island who kind of invade the island. You know where I'm going with that, so I won't go that way.
That's a great point, because what we are trying to do is that, as you know, I don't want to make any political comment here, but then
Mm.
like you know, objectively, Hong Kong had many different colonial period, right?
Yeah.
So like it's a kind of great idea to double these things together.
Mm.
So that we are doing. And another interesting thing is that Jason the Dunter was a psychologist
Wake up,
and
motherfucker.
also Chris the photographer. He's also a psychologist. I mean, like Jason used to study psychology, so you know there are lots of people who can analyze the play psychologically.
Does this mean Sogo-san is going to fly to Hong Kong? This is the crux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm too. Me
Okay,
too.
the whole band. Cool.
Yeah,
Go
we're
home.
flying to Hong Kong.
I will too.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
flying to Hong Kong.
Fly to Hong
Brilliant.
So before Imaginary Machete Swinger was active both in Tokyo and London, but
Mhm.
then now we are trying to make another base,
And
Hong Kong.
and S and Mars. Sorry. Sorry.
So it's all happening, and in November, the gigs that are happening in November, these are fixed. These are ready to go, or you still got to organize those?
まあいつやろうか。I thinking about 3 months later. 3ヶ月後、いや早いな。4 years later.
No, not funny.
Olympic. 4年に一度のワンマンライブ。
So when you do the gigs and when you do these projects, will there any, apart from performing, will there be anything tangible? Will you be producing CDs or DVDs or that kind of thing?
Something tangible would be we are having the release of the photography of Jason with Chris and Martina in October, and in November we are releasing the video by the videographer related to that Tempest project as well. And we are organizing some kind of workshop and exhibition related to the Tempest project in Hong Kong. Maybe this year, the beginning of next year. So that's tangible. And then after we're discussing our one-man show.
A one-man
Maybe-
show.
February. 11月か2月かの。
February。
だいぶ違うけど。
11月か2月。
A one-man show. Who is the one man, or is that metaphor?
Imaginary Swinger show.
Sorry?
We are planning next year's February. February.
November or February, we are going to do a gig.
Or March, because March, my birthday.
Ah.
So
Which day?
celebrated. Which day? 18. March
Okay,
8.
you heard it first on this show, folks. Mark it down in your calendars. It's it's Yui's birthday on the 18th of March.
So there is a conflict between you and me because he wants to do that for his birthday on the 18th of March, whereas I want to do it for my birthday on the 25th of January. So we are fighting against each other.
So, I mean, for our audience, for those interested, I mean, you've produced CDs before as Chuck the Magpie, and there is an Imaginary Machete Swinger CD available. But will you be producing stuff to be bought, or is it going to be just online?
IMS の曲とかはどこで普通の人は例えば今聴いてる人とかは変えたりとか聴けたりっていうのが YouTube だと全部は載ってないからどういう風にしたらいい？これからまた iTunes とかに
Maybe Spotify.
Probably we are putting some songs on Spotify, iTunes, etc. in future.
So there's yes, I mean that's what I was talking about tangible. I mean, you know, do you have a marketing person in your amongst the 14 members, or are you you deciding that all amongst yourselves how you would promote it?
マーケティングとかプロモーションに責任を持ってるのは誰だ
Cherry.
Really? I didn't know.
Well, what you could do is you could. I mean, do you have anybody in London, or I mean, you say you've got a base in London, you've got a base in Tokyo.
Yeah, we in London.
You've got somebody in London. So yes, I mean, so you could divide it up. You could say, you know, you do the marketing from London, you do the marketing from Tokyo, and I'll do the marketing from Hong Kong, kind of thing.
Yes, I can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Wow. President Obama president says,
the president of the IMS says, yes, we can.
when we became president, this was. Oh, so. I'm sorry.
I don't know whether you can put links in the chat, but maybe you can, or just type in the URL in chat for where people need to go. Because somebody was asking, so Spotify is the place to get more IMS. So if people wanted to listen to IMS on Spotify, what would they need to type in? Just Imaginary Machete Swinger?
Imaginary Machete Swinger.
It's a fairly unique name. There's no links. No links can be typed in chat. No. You'll just have to, look, folks.
Spotify. Uploaded Story of the Door and Hero of Life.
If you're curious, people, what these people are eating, this is just completely off topic here. I didn't realize this was a thing in Japan, but apparently this is fish and cheese. It's cod skin stuffed with cheese. It's interesting.
You must eat like cigarettes.
You can smoke it as well, apparently. Cod and cheese. I don't know.
Imaginary Machete Swinger のSpotify とかが見れるのここ。
He said there should be a tarot explaining that.
Please write it here.
Imaginary Machete Swinger.
Hang on. Let's see if I can do that. Text. Input the text here. Here we go.
That you must. Oh, great. Oh, great. And you must do IMS. You must do. Please do Simon. Together. IMS.
Okay. Well, I have to IMS. Oh, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. They're smoking fish skin. Yes, they're smoking fish skin. It's what you do on this show. All right, can I scrolling? I can scroll. Okay, and I can scroll. Let's scroll from left to right. There we go. Where's it going? Size. Hey, Imaginary Machete Swinger.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. OMG. IMS.
So we are like, if I can wrap up everything, like we are the Musician and Creators Guild, and our aim is to create something by collecting old materials and adapting them in our own way, and then get them back for the modern audience. So
that's the theme of Imaginary Machete Swinger. That's the concept, sort of reworking old, tried and tested material and bringing it up to date.
Yeah, so like our main project is Shakespeare project, but then like as you know, we are doing anime projects, etc. etc. Right? IMS の目的は
うん
ルネッサンス。
レス。
そう良いものを次の時代に渡すようより良いものにして表現していく。
ルネサンス。
So another aim, I mean, like the reason why we are trying to recreate and then I mean adapting the old materials and then recreating stuff is to
ルネサンス。
give them back to the modern audience, and also we want to be a bridge
ルネ
for
サ
the
ンス。
next generation.
Yes, between the old and the new. No, so there you are. I mean, it's worked with me. I'm old, but I have been bridged. Okay. What we should do really is I should shut up and you should play us out. We've got a few minutes left. If you could think of an appropriate bridge, what would you recommend? Yui can decide. It can be an anime project. It can be your favorite IMS song, Yui. We should play out with that.
Well, I have Story of the Door.
That's your favorite.
My favorite.
That's Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, that's appropriate. Okay.
I hear our first songs, Story of the Door. I very moved, and I play bass guitar. This community IMS, very cool song.
Cool.
What?
Okay, let's play out. Let's play out with the Story of the Door.
So, and Eerie, one of my favorite songs, Eerie. Eerie,
Well, which one do you think would work best for closing the show?
最後にイリーからストーリーオブザドアをやってくれる。
イリーしてるかな？イリ
Hear you calling. Yeah.
That's an adaptation of a Russian folktale.
Ah, that explains. Yes. Okay. Bear with us, folks. We're going to play out with Eerie, which is not Shakespearean, but it's one of Yui's favorite tracks.
The Russian folk
想像ってなんていうの？
create,
クリエイター。想像する。想像なんか思い浮かべる。
imagine,
Imagine.
imagine
So,
for the people.
Yeah. When I listened to Eerie first time,なんだろう。I imagined play bass guitar very big stadium about Wembley Arena, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I imagined that because of a very favorite song, Eerie.
Well, I hope that comes true. That'll be cool.
All right.
For the moment, it's just 6 people watching.
Okay.
D マイナーだね、これ。ユリ。
この辺と全く登場。
あ、OK です。
多分このままサビ。
飛ばすなら入るところ教えてね。
もういつでも歌い出していいようにずっと A メロのコード弾いてるから。
Wow.
Hooray! Thank you. Thank you. That's brilliant.
We will play Madison Square Garden.
Lots of clapping emojis from the audience, please. Okay. Well, that was wonderful. I would really like to thank you for taking your time and joining us tonight. Yes, we're getting clapping. We're getting clapping from the audience. It's a pity we can't hear it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thanks so
much.
I love you.
So everybody go and subscribe to Imaginary Machete Swinger. Go and look on Spotify and just type in Imaginary Machete Swinger and you'll come up with it. And keep a lookout for future releases, which will be coming in the autumn, I believe. And will there be things like to buy, like posters and signed CDs and all that kind of thing? This is what we want to know. Hello? I mean, will there be merchandise? Merchandise, you know, will there be Imaginary Machete Swinger merchandise?
Oh, 商品。
商品で。
商品。
売るもの。
売るもの、売るもの。あ
売るものとかは
売るもの。
そのうちあるの。
これ。
Action figures.
So for now we have
Yes.
CDs, etc. But then in future we will have other merchandise. Before actually we were selling pottery.
That CDs are million sales in Japan.
So where do we look for these? On Amazon?
No, actually we sell only at the gig.
Right. You have to fly to Tokyo and be very lucky that you'll catch their one gig they do a year in Tokyo.
We are building up a website right now, so probably we will have a page for merchandise as well.
Yeah.
As for pottery, we'll probably sell only at a gig there. Pottery is fragile.
あと2年に1回ぐらいヨーロッパに出張販売しに行ってるよ。
And every 2 years we are doing a Euro tour.
Right. Oh, that's definitely on the cards then. Okay, that's good. And I recommend the Ancien Belgique in Brussels, and then I can go and see. Okay.
Yeah, we are ベルギー行くかもしれないね。
ベルギーこの前実は寄ったのが言ったんだよ。
Airport.
Belgium.
Like last year, we were at the airport only.
That's right. Yes.
I want to meet real Simon.
You want to meet the real Simon? Yes. Okay. There we are. There's the real Simon. Okay, folks. This is the end of the show. We'd like to thank Yui-san, Sogo-san, and Charlie-san for joining us, and hope you enjoyed the show. I shall see you next week, when my guest will be a German living in Tokyo for several years. Her name is Morgan Le Fay, and she shall be on the show next week. And thank you for watching, and see you all again next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Thank
So
you.
much. See you. We love you.